Hello! Today, we will solve a question from the TOEFL reading section. We will practice completing missing letters and finding the correct word. Welcome back to another exciting lesson where we focus on boosting your vocabulary and reading comprehension skills. We are going to look at a paragraph about the water cycle and fill in the missing letters to make the text complete and meaningful. If you enjoy learning with us, please consider subscribing to the channel named My TOEFL to catch every new lesson. Your support encourages us to keep creating high-quality study materials for your success. Let us first look at the opening sentence. To begin, let's examine the very first sentence to understand the main topic of the passage. The water cycle is the continuous movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. This sentence gives us the definition of our topic. The phrase continuous movement tells us that this process never stops. It is always happening. Next, the words on, above, and below help us visualize the scope of this cycle, showing that it happens everywhere relative to the surface of the planet. Understanding these key words helps us expect words related to motion and location in the following sentences. Instead of jumping straight into the blanks, it is often more strategic to gather clues from the following sentences. In these types of questions, the middle sentences often contain the specific details that can be tricky without the full picture. By reading the end of the paragraph first, we ensure we understand the overall flow and purpose of the text, which provides excellent clues for filling in the earlier blanks correctly. We now move on to the fourth sentence. Let's jump ahead to the fourth sentence, which describes the later stages of this cycle. The water collects in rivers and lakes or soaks into the ground, eventually making its way back to the oceans. Here, we see the result of precipitation. The phrase collects in rivers indicates accumulation. Then we see that water soaks into the ground, which is another key part of the cycle. Finally, the phrase making its way back confirms the circular nature of this process as the water returns to where it started. Let us turn to the fifth and final sentence. Now, let's read the final sentence, which wraps up the paragraph by explaining why this is important. This essential process ensures the availability of fresh water for all living organisms. This conclusion highlights the significance of the water cycle. The phrase essential process summarizes everything we just read as a necessary system. It also mentions the availability of fresh water, which gives us the reason why this cycle matters for living organisms. This context confirms we are dealing with a scientific explanation of a natural phenomenon. Current blank number 1. Now that we have the big picture, let's go back and solve the first blank. Water, blank, from oceans. The question provides the letters E, V, A, and P and contains 6 missing spaces. We need a verb here that describes the action of water leaving the oceans and rising up. The provided letters suggest a scientific term for when liquid turns into gas, given the context of the water cycle. The correct word is evaporates. Moving on, let's look at the second blank in this sentence. Water evaporates from oceans, blank, lakes, rises, blank, the. The question provides the letter A and contains 2 missing spaces. Here, we have 2 nouns that need to be joined together. We need a simple conjunction that links these 2 water sources. The letter provided guides us to the very common word and. Let's proceed to the third blank found in the same sentence. Water evaporates from oceans and lakes, rises, blank, the. The question provides the letters I and N and contains 2 missing spaces. The water is moving upwards. We need a preposition that indicates movement or direction toward the inside of a space. Since the water is rising to enter the atmosphere, the correct preposition here is into. Next, we need to complete the fourth blank. Water evaporates from oceans and lakes, rises into the blank and the question provides the letters A, T, M, and O and contains 6 missing spaces. We are looking for a noun that names the layer of air surrounding the Earth where clouds exist. The given letters strongly point to a specific scientific term. Contextually, water vapor rises into the atmosphere. Now, let's figure out the fifth blank in the sequence. Water evaporates from oceans and lakes, rises into the atmosphere, and forms clouds, blank, condensation. The question provides the letters F and O and contains 3 missing spaces. The sentence lists actions, evaporates, rises, and then does something to create clouds. We need a verb that means creates or shapes. Based on the starting letters, the word describing the creation of clouds is forms. Let's check the sixth blank near the end of the sentence. Water evaporates from oceans and lakes, rises into the atmosphere, and forms clouds, blank, condensation. The question provides the letters T, H, and R and contains 4 missing spaces. This part explains how the clouds are formed. We need a preposition that means by means of or via a process. The letters provided lead us to the word that introduces the method of condensation, which is through. We are now starting a new sentence with the seventh blank. Blank, water, then. The question provides the letters T and H and contains 2 missing spaces. This word functions as a demonstrative adjective pointing back to the specific water we just discussed. It helps connect the previous sentence to this one. The correct word to start the sentence and reference the water is this. Let's move to the eighth blank in the text. This water, then, blank, to the. The question provides the letters R, E, and T and contains 4 missing spaces. This is the name of our planet. It is a proper noun possessing the surface mentioned. The capitalization and the letters clearly indicate the word is Earth. Finally, let's complete the 10th and last blank. This water then returns to the Earth's surface as precipitation in the form of rain, blank, snow. The question provides the letter O and contains 1 missing space. We have 2 forms of precipitation listed, rain and snow. We need a conjunction to present them as alternatives. The single provided letter guides us to the word or. Great job! By reading the surrounding sentences first, we were able to predict the missing words based on the scientific process of the water cycle. Remember, identifying whether you need a noun, verb, or preposition is key to solving these blanks accurately.